We're gonna begin with some new cards today. We've got support for a fan favorite archetype, the Skyfang Brigade. Who asked for Skyfang Brigade support? Well, this deck is honestly not that bad in terms of its card quality. I really like the For Hire gimmick of just special summoning out of your hand, because if you stick a body, you're just flooding the field, and Folgo unironically is one of like the best like boss monsters in a deck. It's not really oppressive or too broken in a lot of ways, but it is really good. It's a Link 3, which is pretty well balanced for how powerful it is. So other than like the aesthetic that they've got going on and ruining PSET, gameplay mechanically, I think the deck is kind of cool. But let's see what new cards we've got here. So we got Beat Riding Philo or something, it looks like. Rex Gale for Hire. It's a Dino, level 5 Wind. Kills your first fight once per turn. Reveal this in your hand, special for Hire from your hand, except itself, and then special this card. So, immediately, without even reading the second effect here, that's incredibly powerful. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but does this immediately trigger the other name? So if you reveal Beat in your hand, and then special this and Beat, like at the same time, Beat will trigger to get a search, right? So even irrespective of what the other effect is, that's absolutely crazy, because this is probably one of the few things that For Hire actually needed. For Hire, if you don't stick just that one body, you lose. You instantly lose, right? Because every single For Hire says special summon from hand. Activate this effect, special summon from hand. They're not trigger effects. They're all ignition. They're slow in that regard. But if you do stick, you can swarm the field. So instantly getting to trigger a For Hire and basically having this be a starter and extender is really sick. So anything else this card does is gonna be a nice little bonus. If a card is added from deck to your opponent's hand by a non-For Hire card effect and you control another monster For Hire, you can draw one card. They really kept up this PSET, didn't they, huh? Absolute comedians over there at the Konami Digital Entertainment headquarters. Localization is a paid job, by the way. So, what I'm understanding here is if your opponent charmies you, you are anti-charmying them. If a card is added from the deck to your opponent's hand by a non-For Hire card effect, and you control another monster For Hire, you draw one. So as long as you keep this and another For Hire on the field, you're just counter-drawing your opponent. Like, if they charmy you, if they maxi you, by the way. So I think this is the first archetype in history that wants to get maxied. That isn't doing something silly, like decking you out, like Darklord and Six Samurai. That is very funny. Conceptually, I think we should be moving away from these cards being in the game in the first place, but it looks like Konami is somewhat doubling down by embracing the minigame. So now, if you get charmied and maxied, well, you can just charmy maxi your opponent back. You still likely lose if you give them 15 draws, and they just break your board if you did draw your cards. I mean, I don't know, man. Depending on the crap you've put in your deck. Doesn't matter if your opponent has 20 cards in hand if they can't crack, like, you know, a 10 disruption board, which maybe this deck does now. Or if you know, draw floodgates. Like, 20 cards in hand doesn't do anything if you can't, like, summon under Gozen or whatever it might be, right? So, let's keep reading here. They have a Link 2. Good thing it's not Link 1. We have a Shipwright For Hire. Is it Frankie reference? Level 2 Water Sea Serpent, left bottom. 2 monsters with different types, so they're keeping it generic. Donner is such a good card that even non-For Hire decks play it. But let's see if this can do anything. I'm trying to think, like, what would you even want this to do? I don't know, just more extension, searching. I wouldn't even really say this deck needs a Link 2, because it's actually kind of, not really anti-synergy, but Folgo deliberately and specifically wants 3 materials, exactly. So you have to combine 2 monsters into 1 Link monster, which is, you know, mathematically just a -1. And then to make Folgo, you then have to use this, so it's like really bad value. But it's a Link 2 printed in the year 2025, so it's going to give you like a +3, right? Two monsters with different types. You go the first and second fight once, but two different types, by the way, is crazy because I don't know. Maybe if you get like nibbed or something, you can use a nib token. If any other type of body, a normal summon, a hand trap. I mean, you're probably not doing that in for hire, but it's interesting that it doesn't need for hires. Link summon, set a spell or trap for hire, or Fandara the Flying Fortress, and you can't specialize turn except for hires. Okay, so for hire does have a field spell, but I'm pretty sure it's trash. But maybe one of the reasons was that it is because it wasn't searchable. It probably doesn't matter, to be fair, right? Because here's a new one. This card is always treated as a card for hire. Oh no, it doesn't set this, right? Unless I'm mistaken. A spell or trap for hire, because this isn't a for hire card, and it's also not Fandara the Flying Fortress. This is the Fearsome Flying Fortress. Can you set it? Isn't that's technically a different word, no? First line, it's always treated as a card for hire. Oh, right, because it's a for hire even in the deck? Is that how that works? That's okay. Lawyer game. All right, so you can set this. So I assume you don't care about the original. You can also set the Reborn, I believe, so that you can use it in your opponent's turn to trigger Folgo. So yeah, that's obviously really broken. All right, during your opponent's turn, quick effect banishes from your graveyard. So clearly they intend for you to make this set and then link it off into Folgo. Have this be in the grave as setup. You can banish this from your graveyard if you do a special monster from hire from your hand. And if your opponent controls a monster with the highest original attack on the field, you can special a second such. If your opponent controls a monster with the highest original attack on the field, even if tied. So, yeah, I mean, that's just, like, really, really leaning into playing on your opponent's turn. Not turn 0, but the whole gimmick of for hire triggering when a for hire, is summoned is obviously really powerful for the deck because you just leave this in your graveyard, you banish, you summon, like, a guy out your hand. You trigger, like, a bunch of dudes' effects because you've just summoned. You can get another search with, like, Rafal. You can pop with Recon, pop a face-up card, draw more cards with the Folgo. So having lots of guys set up with the Rex in the grave or this in the grave is just going to give you so much, so many things to be able to do on your opponent's turn. I don't know how relevant the second effect is. Because, like, Folgo is probably I feel like you still want to end on Folgo, so your monsters are probably still bigger, but I guess, you know, still like a nice bonus should that come up. So let's see what this new field spell does. So second and third effect once per turn. Monsters for hire gain 300 for each for hire you control with different names. So what is that, like plus like 2,100 attack or something for like a big board, pretty much. Like, this number gets ludicrous when you have a full field of fur hires, right? During your main, you can add a fur hire from deck to your hand and then discard a card. I don't think discarding is very good at all in this deck. There's pretty much nothing you really want to discard. Like, yeah, like, you know, Rex is a grave effect, but you don't really want to, like, discard it. You want to, like, use it and then link it off, right? So, it's not really what you're trying to do with this deck. If a face-up for hire you control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, a special for hire from deck, any for hire from deck, by the way, that's really broken because you can bring out, like, either more recursion with, like, I don't know, if you will still play, like, the guy who adds from graveyard, like, maybe, like, one Seal or Philo, whatever his name is. Rex for another search. Rafal, potentially, if you haven't already summoned him. Wiz, maybe. So, that's really strong. Yeah, this is a really good field spell. 100%, like, playable. It's just a Rhoda, so maybe you play 3 now. Very, very good. Storm for hire. New quick play spell, and we got a new trap card as well. I feel like this deck is just way too big on engine at this point, right? You can only use the first second of this name each once per turn. If you control no monsters, you can special level 4 lower for hire from your deck. If you control 2 or more special for hire from your deck, you can't spell this turn except for hires. Wait. What? Isn't that the same? Level 4 or lower from deck. And if your opponent controls 2, special one monster from hire from your deck. Okay, so it's just a higher level, basically, if your opponent controls a monster. Wait, no, is it 2 names? Wait, so it's 2. Then if your opponent controls 2, you can special another one. That is insane. You know, I just love cards like this. I cannot, like, express enough how much I think they're amazing. Like, the Draco Tail Rota, that is just, like, you know, poly when you're going second, is insane. This is E-Telly, which is obviously very good. But then it's also just double E-Telly when you're going second. This is always how I've suggested that going second needs, like, assisted in Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe one or two, like, small rule changes. Like, I've always loved the idea of one normal summon per main phase rather than turn. But even just, like, cards getting bonus effects if your opponent has a board is really, really good. Like, this is unreal. Just E-Telly two guys and instantly trigger their names. Do they trigger at the same... Well, because it's a then effect, right? You summon one, then you summon another. They both trigger. But does the first one not trigger, I think? Right? I don't think the first... No, the second one doesn't trigger, right? So if you're a monster for hire with discard a card to activate its effects, you banish them. Oh, see, like, because that's the thing, right? I always thought it was weird. Like, you don't want to discard, really. But you can just cheat the discard with this guy, right? Oh, no, wait, hold on. So, I just remembered. So, Rafal negates by discarding. And I think Wiz negates as well by discarding. So, you can remove the discard altogether by just having this in the graveyard. So, this just pays for that. That's really, really cool. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, like, I think this is a meta deck. I'm not, like, I'm just gonna say it, like, I haven't even read the last card. This is probably, you know, turn one set Omni Negate. I genuinely think this is a meta deck. I think this is gonna be like, an actual, real archetype that is gonna get tops. I think this deck is crazy good. Like, I think this is sick. Not winning K9 or Yummy. I mean, 6 months from now, by the time those decks hit the TCG shells, they're going to be a little bit nerfed, right? So, I think there's room for this to be good. Secret technique for hire. Goes first, second effect once per turn. Target face-up cards if you up to number for hires. Destroy them. If you control level 8 or higher and or link 3 or higher, banish them. Level 8 or higher and or link 3 or higher for hire is special to field while this is in your grave. Add this to your hand. So a recurring full field banish that is easily settable from the deck. I don't know what you could pot, like, in terms of, you know, whether or not this will be a meta contending threat or not, whatever. You cannot ask for better support for your deck, right? This is basically a rogue deck at best, and with these cards, I legitimately think this is capable of getting tops. I think this could easily top regionals. I think you could probably get a couple of these into YCS top cuts. I think this is sick. I really do. Let's check out some combos. Alright, we've got job application in the hand here. Alright. Tailwind for hire. Alright, so we got we got 3 discards, it looks like. 4 discards. Alright, let's go Tailwind effect. Guess this is supposed to be Storm for hire, right? So special summon Rex from the deck. Rex effect adds the new field spell. Activate the field spell. This is going to get beat. Discard a job application. Normal summon beat. Link both of them into Donner. Donner tribute itself. Revive both of them to trigger the beat. Beat then gets a search for Philo. Activate beat special Philo. Link those two into the Shipwright. Philo then triggers, I believe. This is the Reborn one. Yeah, Reborn back from the graveyard here. Keel then sets the new trap card. All 3 of them are linked up into Folgo. Folgo summons Rafal. Rafal gets a search for another job application. So it doesn't look impressive for 1-card combos, let's be real. It's a negate and a pop. But it's also a draw how many cards? 3 or more monsters for hire with different names. So by the time you use Rex to revive, there is a lot of disruption here, right? I'm pretty sure there's more than it seems. So you add one of the excavated cards with Rafal, Rex and Keel engrave, and it requires a discard. So it doesn't look like crazy broken compared to what we've seen before. But for hire is definitely a deck that plays with its hand. You need, like, you know, lots of names gives you just way more options and stuff. So this is very, very fine. Like, it's not unbelievable. It's not crazy insane. It's good. It's good. I like this. Fair. you know, so, yeah. Anyway, I'm liking it. I think it's cool. Let's check out these RBs. Had a little listen in earlier when Josh was streaming this morning, and they all sounded unimpressive. I don't really remember what these do, so these things probably just suck. I'm excited for the fur hires, though. Normal or specialed, Lambda Cannon, target an RB in your grave, accept itself and add it to your hand. So these are all really high level, is what you'll maybe notice. So I don't think this deck has like a normal summon. Is a bit of an issue here. Link to an RB, link, pay 12, destroy this, and look at your opponent's hand, and then special monster from their field. Special one monster from it to their field, but negate it. It's very funny. Why do we have, like... Why is that a thing? What does that have to do with RBs? If this one is normal or special, you can send an RB card from your deck to the grave. I think that's decent. Bring your opponent's main if this is linked to an RB, pay 14, turn monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and take control of that. Okay, that's very good. That is very, very good. Bot, destroy it during the end phase. So mind control something and destroy it as a quick effect is pretty good. Good disruption. Total face-ups or only face-ups are RB. Special at once per turn. When attack is declared involving an opponent's... Why does it pay so much life points, by the way? When attack is declared involving an opponent's monster and RB, the Brute Blues, that points to this card. Pay 15, destroy all cards your opponent controls in this card! Huh? Tactical Nuke? I do like the idea and theme of this deck. You know, it's all a bunch of weapons and parts. But, it needs so much setup to get, like, these things summoned out into the hand here. A new Link monster? I'm not trying to, like, you know, go to bat for Link 1 card design and 1 card combos, but Link 3 is not what this deck needed, man. Gain 500 for each monster you control, except this. You can easily fall in effect once per turn. Main phase, set an RB trap. That's crazy. Opponent's main, quick effect, target 3 level 3 or higher RBs in your grave, place 2 in the bottom, and if you do special the other... Ugh. I think for a 3 material monster, it's kind of underwhelming. Like, the set is good, the recursion's nice, but... Like, I'm not going crazy, right? Like, none of these cards let you, like, start playing the game. Like, how do you just, like, start playing? When this is activated, target level 3 or higher in your grave, special it. That's pretty good. Target any number of RBs you could... This is, like, at least a 2-card combo deck, right? Target any number of RBs you control, gain life equal to their combined original, and if you do, return them to the hand or extra, and then special an RB from your hand. Closest thing you'll get to a starter, I suppose. Got Last Stand here, special an R... Why is there 2 trap cards? This is Konami's, like... This is their, like, give up situation that they always seem to do. Like, they come up with this, like, new archetype and new theme, and then they just absolutely load it with trap cards. In which world do you read all of the monsters for this deck and think to yourself, like, oh, they need a 3rd trap card? Like... Because trap card 1 was, like, whatever. 2 and 3? I mean, come on, dude. Let me guess, it has a battle phase effect, right? Come on, just shit in my cereal. Special an RB from your deck, extra grave with a different name than the card's control. After this results, can't special from the X deck, except machines with 15. When you put activate the card effect, the target's an RB, banish this, negate. It's decent, it's not bad. Opponent activates monster effect while you control an RB, destroy monster you control, and if you do negate and destroy that. Quick effect, negate. Does this deck even have enough life points to play, to do all of this, by the way? This is a lot of cost here. It's like half your life points just to do your basic, like, setup, it looks like. Only 1 effect per turn? Oh, wow. Why did they even try and balance this like this, man? Oh, God, this is so miserable, man. Oh, this is so ass. Alright, well, anyway, the big takeaway from today is for hire. Calling it now. The furry agenda is stepping up, and I'm declaring my allegiance. I think this is going to be a good deck. I think this is going to be in a good deck. Alright, we've got Darklord, Golgalta, Jehuti, Lucifer. Excuse me. Such an god-hating company. Gurgur, tut 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 tut. What are they going to call him in TCG? Like, Lucius or something usually? Oh, you got Darklord combos for me? Let's go. Alright, not a Darklord expert, but I can see this one is level 4, so that's good. I think that's probably... If this card is playable, I think this deck might be good, because this deck just doesn't have a normal summon. Unless you want a normal summon Reficule, technically. Goes the first effect, I'm reading it first because I'm just so excited to see a normal summon. Goes first second effect once per turn. Normal, special, a Darklord from deck and defense. That's insane. What? They just... What? This is crazy. They just gave him a tour guide. If this is normal or special, by the way, special Darklord from your deck. And then you're locked into fairies, which I'm sure the Darklord deck is okay with. If you control a Dark Fairy Fusion, banish this, and then target Darklord or Forbidden Quickplay in your grave and add it to your hand. Do you want to play those, like, BA cards with this deck? Because I remember people were saying, like, oh, yeah, Branded, like, can maybe use them. Darklords can use them. You know, to make Luce and stuff like that. Because I feel like those cards are going to be good in this. They seem very much, like, synergistic. Alright, we got Golgalta here. Fairy Lock? Yeah, but, like... Luce's a fairy, isn't he? They're fiends. Not special for the rest of his turn except fairies. So Buyou is a fiend, right? Maybe if you can get a way to like trigger Buyou first to search the fusion, because I know the fusion is broken. It's just a miracle fusion for fairies or fiends. Nah, there has to be synergy with those cards. There's no way. Anyway, you can special summon this once per turn and use the second effect once per turn. This is special to Darklord tokens. I'm sorry, is this guy just like pen summon 4? Like, this, summon this, get 2 tokens, which I assume are just free, like, fusion material. If this is sent to the grave, add a Darklord card or Forbidden Quickplay from deck to hand. Like, that's crazy, right? Like this, summon this, get 2 tokens, fuse this in some way. Add a card. That's insane. This isn't even hard to make. 2 level 6 or higher. Goes the first and third effect once per turn. Fusion, set a Darklord spell, and trap. So spell, I believe, is like a mind control, and the trap is like a pop, or like the other way around, right? Don't they have like a quick play spell? Add droplet. There's no... Wait, what? This doesn't search droplet. Forbidden droplet. Set a Darklord spell and a Darklord trap. Your opponent can't target this with card effects. Pay 1,000. Target a Darklord spell trap and you give it apply the effect. Oh, sorry. I zoned out on this one. If you control Dark Fairy Fusion, banish this and target a Darklord card or Forbidden Quickplay in your grave. Add it to your hand. Okay, that is very funny, but I mean, unless you like hard draw it, that's not going to come up, right? Realistically, you're just going to be adding back like the Rhoda or something for follow-up, but this technically recycles the Forbidden Droplet. Oh, I guess like this one adds the drop. Oh, that's so funny. If this is sent to the grave, add a Darklord card or Forbidden Quickplay. I mean, they're in the pack together for a reason. That's crazy. And then this one can just copy. The Darklord ones anyway, not the Forbidden one. It'd be really good if this could copy the Forbidden Droplet. I don't know how that would work ruling-wise, but anyway. Darklord Pleasure. What's going on here? Putting that on the artwork now. You can only use this card with this name once per turn. Fusion, summon a Dark Fairy Fusion from your extra by banishing its material from hand, field, or grave. This is just a straight up Miracle Fusion. Hand, field, or grave. And if you do it, gains 1,000. Oh, and it gains 1,000? Doesn't this summon, like, the first Darklord who now becomes, like, 5,000 and, like, untargetable and indestructible? Or... If summoning a Darklord this way, you could also use Darklord monster your opponent controls as material. Opponent controls? Opponent? Where's the opponent's control here? Are we giving our opponent cards here? I mean, to be fair, there are some Darklords that like just summon themselves to your opponent's field, right? Like some of the old stuff. Yeah, yeah. God, wow. Can you believe that those used to be prize cards? That's crazy. All right, let's check out a combo here. Have a look. Shout outs to our LCS community here. Oh, red medicine and blue medicine, huge. You guys just love picking the best, funniest cards to display, don't you? All right, we got Fucko back. Send Golgalta. He's gonna add a fusion. Or Darklord card. I guess we're fusing later. We're gonna add a Rota. Add a Darklord card. And then add Contact. Then Contact summons one from the grave. We're gonna bring this guy back. And then this guy's gonna summon 2 tokens here. We're gonna link into Condemned Darklord. No, what? Agent cards? Hello! Alright, this is hardly Dark World gaming. However, 2 fairies. Any 2 fairies. So what does this one do? Discard a card. And then add X-Shell. Okay. Link those into Parshath. What is going on here? This is like a 3-card combo. Master Hyperion? What are we doing here? Banish to summon Hyperion. Target this with Neptune to do something. Parshath somehow summons X-Gel. X-Gel then triggers to copy the banishment. Adds Pleasure. Pleasure effect. Banish 2. Fusion summon Lucifer. Lucifer sets both of these. Pays 1,000 copies or revives Ukobak. Wow. This is definitely a take we've gone with here. In the opponent's turn, you have 2 Monster Negates with Sanctified by using both Ukobak and the Fusion. With Banishment as follow-up. I don't know if I like this one. I think your Fur Hire Cook was better. You've got one with Ostinato. Okay. Alright, this is 1 Ostinato and 2 discards. This is so ass. It's because the support isn't that good. Like, Darklord is like a 2-3 card combo deck. So, I think we're trying really hard to make it a 1-2 card combo. But hey, we've got Ostinato, so you know, that's just an FTK, right? Anything in the game. By the way, Gage would go crazy watching this. Alright, so we finally get through all of the Melodious plays. Then we go into the Condemned, who adds Djibouti. Pen Summon 2 here into Parsha. You just love these fairy cards. Okay. I respect it. I respect it. We're trying to make the fairies work. So then we get this out of the hand here. Someone's Indulge from the deck. Give the opponent X-Gel. This bounces the X-Gel back to our hand here. Link into Herald. Parshath Banish, special summon out Golgata, get 2 tokens. Who would have thought fairies would be the slop deck, dude? It's like Fiendsmith, but it's like Darklord are the new engine. There's another Pleasure here. Using 2 tokens into Lucifer. Gonna get the 2 searches out here. Okay, I think Ostinato is definitely better, but then you have to play all these freaking... What's it called cards here? Discard Morningstar. This is a draw too, right? Contact to bring back the X-Gel. Alright. What the hell, dude? This is just sloppy. Alright, so what do we got here? Opponent's turn, you've got Monster Negate. You've got X-Gel copy, Monster Negate 2. You've got Lucifer, which can then fuse into the first Darklord, which wipes the entire board. You got Mirage, which is a spell trap negate. You've got the Melodious Flowering, which is a bounce. Okay, so, which way, Western man? Fairy Slop or Fiend Slop? We've done a whole bunch of things over the last year or two. Maybe Darklord is the next Sloppy Poppy deck to embrace us. Alright, there you go. That's the new cards. Shout outs to the community for the combos. We'll see you next year for the Year of the Fairies.